Love is in the air with Valentine's weekend, where Wade fixes me a Valentine. We visit Graham Cave State Park, a country store, and Wade's Valentine to me, so stick around.
I think they're done, hon.
Well, we had a yummy breakfast, didn't we?
Made it to Kingdom City and stopped at Denny's. They got the best cinnamon roll pancakes.
Yes, they do. I guess we need to tell them. Good morning.
Yep, good morning. And
We are on the road. It's Saturday morning.
Yep.
We're going someplace not too far from home, though, aren't we?
Yeah, it's fairly close to.
It's a great place if you're traveling down I-70 and need someplace to stay.
Yeah, it's right.
It's right off the highway, which you can hear the highway noise.
Yeah, that's
the
the only
only
bed.
thing. And as you can tell, we've already stayed there once, back before we were YouTubing.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed it. And that's Graham Cave State Park.
Yeah.
So we'll see you when we get
All
there.
right, see you there.
Ibis, we made it. We're at our home away from home almost. Well, hello. We made it.
We made it to Graham Cave State Park. We got set up, and before we do anything else, it's late morning, but we've got to start something.
You owe me something.
I owe you something. Well, this is kind of our Valentine's weekend. Valentine's isn't for another week or so.
But this is going to air Valentine's.
Yeah, so this is going to be our Valentine's Day weekend camp out.
It's my Valentine's present, though.
Yeah.
You promised to make me this 3 years ago on my birthday, and you never got it
Never
made.
got it done, so now...
But it's going to be a little different, isn't it? Because it's normally jelly rolled.
Yes, jelly roll cake. That's called a gingerbread roulade, I think.
I think it is.
And you have to put it in like a 10 by 15 sheet pan. And then it's baked and then it's rolled up and all that. It makes a beautiful cake. But the problem is, it's kind of hard to get a 10 by 15 in a Dutch oven.
Yes.
So we're going to do two 10-inch layered cakes and then put all the filling in the middle, then icing on the outside. So there's some main ingredients that takes a little bit of work. A lot of mixing.
Hence why it's called the 3-hour cake.
Yeah, the first time I made it, which is, I don't know, at least 10 or 12 years ago, it took me 3 hours to make it. By the time you bake it, chill it, get all that stuff done. So.
And the next time you made it, it didn't take. It took as long too.
It took almost as long. Yeah. So
it's a little windy out here, so we're hoping the audio works.
Yeah,
good.
we're luckily that this side of the camper is kind of out of the wind a little bit, so we're going to try that. So Angel's going to step out. She'll probably help do some of this cake, but most of it I'm going to do because it's my present to her. And then on the next video.
By the way, happy Valentine's Day.
You too. Happy Valentine's Day.
All right, I'm going to step out. He's going to get started.
I'm going to get started. Okay, we'll be right back. I got to kind of organize a couple more things, and then we'll start with the actual cake part of this gingerbread roulade. Okay, first thing I got to do, which is kind of a pain, is it takes 6 eggs, but you have to separate them, which means you have to put the eggs, yolks and egg whites completely separate. So we're going to start now. When you're doing an egg white, an egg yolk deal, you've got to make sure that you don't get any of your egg white and egg yolk in there with the egg white. So what we're going to do is fairly carefully, you take the top off, or in half, or if you can, and you try to separate that. Now, the egg yolk has to go in the largest bowl. I'm just going to keep track, make sure I don't mess this up. Okay, now you take your one, you make sure that there's no egg yolk in it, and you put it in, I'm going to put it in this bowl. Because we got to whisk these later into soft peaks and then fold them in to the rest of the cake.
So he's going to do the other 5.
Yep, we'll be right back. Okay, last egg. Now, the reason, like I say, when you're doing them separate, if you have a boo-boo, you just have to dump that whole egg into something else as a complete one, and you can use it for something else, but then you go on to another one and not try to, because you can't hardly get that egg. If you get a blob of yolk, you just can't hardly get it out of it.
Well, and it's like angel food cake. You don't want any.
You can't, yeah.
You can't.
And you want to make sure that you don't have any oil or really a bunch of greasy stuff in your whites. So you make sure your bowls are good, clean, and we'll have to re-clean our mixing, our beaters on our electric mixer also. Okay, now our egg whites are set aside for now. We're done with our eggs, we'll get them out of the way, and we gotta mix our yolks and get them going, and then we're going to get started, and we gotta put in 3/4 cups sugar and whisk it for a good while till they're nice and ribbony is what it said. So we're starting to get our eggs going here a little bit. These are just the yolks.
He'll be back.
I'll be back when this is done, okay? Got that going for just a second. Now we're going to add in 3/4 cup sugar. Mix that in good. And we'll get this done. Okay, you can see that it's gotten a lot whiter because you put all that air in it, and when you shut off you should have ribbons. I say it has ribbons, wouldn't you, Angel?
Yep.
Okay, now, next thing we have to add is a tablespoon of molasses. We put in this little bottle because we didn't want to take a whole big bring a whole big bottle with us because we didn't need this. It only takes a tablespoon, so thick stuff.
What's another word for molasses?
Sorghum. And I think, I don't know, there might be a little bit of difference between the, but pretty much, for the most part, about the same thing. Okay, and we need 1 teaspoon, and this is the little caps, I think 2 of these, doesn't it?
3.
We're using real vanilla. Teaspoon of real vanilla. Okay. Now, we're going to do a quick mix on this, and then we're going to get the next step.
We can't bring it out yet because we're afraid it'll solidify
Yeah, it's
again.
cold enough. Okay, we're back. The butter is melted, and I kept it in the camper so it wouldn't get. Now it's not it's not hot, so we won't start cooking the eggs. But I'm still, just in case, I'm gonna just kind of drizzle it in and mix it. Just to be on the safe
you don't
side.
want fried egg yolks.
No. Thank you, huh?
You need some assist there?
I might. It was just barely melted, so it shouldn't hurt anything. I'm gonna get a little bit of my extra butter out of here. My full 2 tablespoons of butter.
Now, Wade, we might want to say that this recipe is not in the cookbook.
No, this will be probably on our next cookbook down the road a couple years from now, hopefully.
Chances are, if you want, yeah, we'll have it probably a couple years from now. Now, if you want our current cookbook,
Yep.
you can order that by going to Venmo if you have Venmo.
Yep. Whole House Black Pots.
You send a check or money order for $20 for the cookbook, $6 for shipping and handling to P.O. Box 212, Fayette, Missouri 65248.
Right. We usually show that at the end of our video so you can look at that. Now, biggest thing now we gotta do is, this is the last, almost the last step for the cake. Now we have to take the egg whites and we have to whisk them until salt peaks, but you cannot have dirty mixing
Beaters.
So we gotta take this off, clean them, wash them real good, and then we'll whisk them up and fold them in. So
We'll be right
Yep.
back.
Okay, now we've got one last step
No, yeah, one last
before
step.
we get the egg whites going.
Now there's the beaters.
Yep, we washed them, they're dry.
They're as clean as complete.
Dry, you need them clean and dry. Now, we're adding this, we need a premix of basically your dry ingredients that's gonna go into our egg yolk mixture. And that is flour, baking powder, salt, ginger, and allspice, okay?
Is that our Jamaican allspice?
I think we did use your Jamaican allspice.
That smells so yummy.
Okay, I'm gonna put this back here before it blows away. Now we're gonna stir that in. If you had a bigger mixer, you could actually use the mixer, but we're not gonna use it because we got a fairly small mixer, and we already washed the beaters, and we're not gonna fight that again. Because it's cold out here. Hands get cold when you're doing dishes, even out here.
Especially in cold water.
Yeah, we didn't heat up any water yet to do that. Get all the edges mixed. Okay, I think it's about to come together, don't you,
Ooh,
Angel?
it looks good.
Okay.
Now let's get them egg whites cooking.
Set that aside one more time. Now, clean and dry.
And there's
Egg.
a bug in it.
And there's something in it. We can get that in there. We'll get that out of there. Okay. Cream of tartar.
Now this is a weird, it don't call for a teaspoon, it calls for a 3/4 of a teaspoon.
So I don't think it's highly important to be off, so we're gonna do, well, you can do, we're just gonna do it this way. We're not gonna just completely fill a teaspoon. It'll be okay. We want it dry. Dry as we can get it. It's about right, doesn't it, Angel?
Yeah, close enough.
Okay, now that goes in our egg whites, and now if we did everything right, they should we'll mix until we get salt peaks. And then we're gonna do one more step to get these done. We'll be back in just a minute when these come together.
We're getting there.
Come on. Just about there. Salt peaks. All right, we went salt peaks, not almost in it, Angel.
Yep, almost.
Just a little bit more. Then we're gonna gradually add in 2 tablespoons of sugar.
I'd say.
That's soft peaks. See that?
Yeah.
Peaked up like a little mountaintop. Okay.
No, a mountaintop would be stiff peaks.
Well, yeah, probably. And, okay, 2 tablespoons. Now we got to add this as it's mixing. Got a few cloves in our sugar. We're going to get them broken up. They'll mix in, I think. But okay, so going to get it going. Gradually add as we mix. There's 1 tablespoon. And 2 tablespoons. Now we mix this until stiff peaks form. We're going to take at least another minute or so.
Kind of reminds me of an angel food cake.
Yeah, that's part of it. Is now you can overdo this and get too far, so you don't want that.
I think you better check those. A little bit more, but not much. We're almost there.
You know we got all the yolks out, otherwise we wouldn't have gotten this at all. This doesn't work, so be very careful not to get any yolk at all. And then use clean beaters, clean bowl, no oily residue in them. That'll mess it up too. One more time, let's see here, Angel.
I'd say that's stiff peaks. It's holding its shape.
Yep. All right. Get this off. Now, since we have whipped all that air into these, we don't want to just mix it all in and take the air back out. So, here's what we got to do. We're going to take our spoon, okay? And it's pretty, make sure it's all mixed up. Now, we're going to add in about 3 different batches. These, and instead of mixing, we are going to fold. So you go down in and then you turn over. You don't just stir it. Okay?
No, because what'll that do?
That'll take the air back out of those egg whites and we just whisked in.
Because what isn't in this? There's 2 items that you could have in there that aren't.
I don't know what.
Baking powder or
There's baking powder. There's baking powder. There's baking powder in the dry mix, yes.
But part of what makes it so light and airy is the egg whites.
Oh yeah.
There's a Belgian waffle recipe that has that.
A lot of your waffle recipes from scratch have separate your eggs and you do your whites and fold them in. I think. A lot of your good recipes for waffles do. And you have to completely add and incorporate that one before you add the next step.
Now, when you go to bake, how long is it going to take to bake it? It's like 25 minutes.
It's about, it's like a regular cake, you know. Now, when they did it on as a roulade, in a real thin, it's only like not even, what, inch thick, when it's not even, probably 3/4 of an inch thick when it's done. So you only probably bake it, I think instructions are like 15 to 18 minutes or something like that. Not like a regular full thickness cake that takes 30 minutes.
This, so it might be about the same
Yeah,
thickness.
it'll be a little bit thicker than that because we're going to do 2 10-inch. So they're going to be a little thicker than that.
You getting all your goodie out of there?
I'm trying.
Because we're not like other cooking shows, are we?
Yeah, we don't want to leave half of it in there.
Nope. I'm looking forward to this.
This is probably one of the best cakes ever, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Pretty hard to beat.
Yes, it is. And then just keep on folding till you get the whites all incorporated in the rest of the cake. And then we got to come back in a few minutes. As soon as this is done, we got to get charcoal going.
Yeah, we didn't want to get it going and then have to rush.
Yeah.
But once the cake mixed up, it'll be all right.
Yeah. Just about there. Want to make sure you get all the edges and down in that very bottom too, so we got everything mixed in, incorporated. What do you think, Dan? I think we're about
say
there.
It's well incorporated. Let's go get
You don't want to over mix.
You have the briquettes all ready to go?
Okay, it'll be just a minute. We're gonna come back and while the briquettes ready, then we'll be back and get this bacon, okay? Okay, now I've lined them with foil, both Dutch ovens. Now I'm gonna spray them down good. Now the recipe calls for you to line with parchment paper the bottom of your 10 by 15 sheet pan. So we're going to do it this way.
Which we would line the Dutch ovens anyways, wouldn't we?
Did I put nothing in the bottom? Yeah, I did something in the bottom. Okay. Now I'll
Wouldn't we?
Yep.
We would line the Dutch ovens.
Yeah, we would with any type of a sweet cake. I'm going to run back. I put to keep it clean and not real cold, I put the cake in the Dutch, crispy. I put the cake in the camper, so I'll be right back and we'll start adding it to the pan. Okay, I got my cake. Now I'm going to try clean off one thing at a time here.
I'm curious to see how you're going to split these up.
I don't know. I'm going to guess. Okay, Angel, you want to hold this spoon real quick because I took everything else over to the... So, let's see here. I'm going to lay it off. Now, the idea is to get half in each one.
That's good, honey.
And we're going to just hope for the best. I don't think we're halfway there. But let's see, maybe a little bit more. What you think, Angel?
I don't know. I can't see the other one.
Oh, well. I got the dribble everywhere.
Yeah, I'd say you're all right.
What do you think? Call it good?
Yep, I'd say.
Scrape as clean as I can. Charcoal, by the time we get this mixed up, then charcoal will be out. We're just about ready.
Yep. I get to lick the bowl, right?
Yeah. My Valentine's present to you, so I guess you do.
I don't mind if you leave a little bit then.
Now, we made an effort to try halfway to level up the Dutch oven a little bit more than normal.
The table.
The Dutch oven table, yes. Because when we're doing cake, of course, you want it halfway, fairly level. So, we're going to put the lids on. And a couple more minutes, charcoal will be ready, and we'll get these to baking. We'll be right back. Okay, so we have two 10-inch deep Dutch ovens, so we're going to make the cakes in. So,
Are we stacking?
we are not. The thing that's tough about stacking with the same size Dutch oven, it's really hard to get your heat regulated right between the two, especially when we're making cakes or breads. And it's usually if you got the next size down, smaller on top, you can do a lot easier when we're doing that. So we're gonna play it safe because we've never actually made this cake out here like this. It's always been the traditional way inside. So we're gonna go ahead and we got enough charcoal to just do two of them exactly identical side by side. So what I'm gonna do, some of the charcoal in the bottom has probably got more done than the top ones, so we're not gonna put all the top ones on one and some of the other. So we're gonna kind of mix and match as we dump charcoal out onto our Dutch ovens. Then we'll kind of have a pretty good even, and then we'll distribute once we get them dumped out here.
I'm sorry, I'm doing fire control.
Yeah, we got a lot of leaves out here dry.
See? I don't know if you can tell it's smoking or not. But
We're gonna do our normal baking. We're about 350. About 8 on the bottom. Do the same thing on this one. 8 on the bottom of it. That got away from me. Now, this wind's really gusty, so before I finish completely getting them rearranged, I'm going to put this wind guard back on. Because wind is one of our worst enemies.
Well, and I think we may have a fire started over here.
So.
I thought I stepped on those, but I'll just come over here. Sorry.
Now on top, we're going to do the same as we always do with baking. Checkerboard style on top. So, put a nice full ring around the top, and we'll put about 4 of them in the middle. I think we're doing about 28, I think is what we're doing on top. Total. I don't know, Dutch ovens on.
Per Dutch oven.
Per Dutch oven, excuse me, yeah. Think.
And I guess I need to say, yes, he does a lot of the cooking, but I cook too. I don't particularly like this part, but I can do it.
Yeah, she does it some. She usually just doesn't have any problem with just letting me do the charcoal part, and I don't mind it either. So, okay. Now, we're not for sure how long they're going to take, so we're going to set the timer for 10 minutes, rotate, go 10 more, and then at the 20-minute mark, we'll probably double check. All right, we'll be back in 10 minutes.
See, he turned both of them first, so he knows which way he turned them.
Now I'll turn the lid. Third of her turn in the opposite direction.
Because it wouldn't do you any good to turn it a third of the way the other way.
Then you wouldn't get to the top. Bottom right. Okay, we'll go 10 more minutes and we'll be back. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and rotate first, just in case it's probably not done. So,
although they smell done.
they smell. So we're going to rotate the bottoms.
So there's a point in there, Wade. If you smell it,
You better be checking.
you better be checking.
Go ahead and get it rotated the way I want it.
That looks pretty done to me. Those are done.
Double check. Just when you look around the edges, see they're coming apart, aren't they?
Yep.
Coming away from the edge, I mean. Not coming apart. I hope they're not coming apart.
I can tell by looking at that,
Yeah,
it's
that
done
one's
too.
definitely done. Okay.
All right. So, what are we doing now?
Okay, so we're gonna take these off the charcoal, pull them out of the Dutch ovens, put them somewhere so they can chill. They need to be completely chilled. At home, you can put them in the refrigerator. Here, we're just gonna stick them in somewhere in the back part of the check box where it's cool, and we're gonna let them completely cool before we put the filling in. So it'll be a little while before we come back to the rest part of this recipe.
We're gonna go do something in town. I told you.
These models are in need of the, yeah, this is where
Lagoon.
the caves right there.
Yeah, but we're over here somewhere.
We're at here, the park office.
But where we're camping.
We camp, we come down this road and we go back, make around this loop.
Oh, I see it.
then
It's
right
all
up
there.
there, and then way up there is the electric one.
Cool.
You come back down over here is parking lot and different things, and then Graham Cave.
Were these arrowheads found here?
Yes, most of them are and were found here and are authentic. A few of them in there we've replaced with reproductions just to kind of show the...
Now, how far back can we go in here? We can't go in at all, can we?
You can go a good bit underneath the overhang and kind of get the idea what it would have been like to be underneath the cave. Yes.
Okay, we have our, get the light right here, our Graham Cave State Park patch.
We have to catch up on a few of them because we've missed some of them.
Yeah,
so.
some places we didn't go to the office and get them, and this is actually the park office that we came to here.
They have a nice little display here, and yes, the arrowheads, most of them that are here being shown are from this site, which we'll show you tomorrow. So
we're gonna actually go there tomorrow, but right now we're gonna head out and
I'm hungry.
Get us a neat little place over in Williamsburg, about 10 miles away, so we'll meet you there.
Okay, honey, we've pulled over. We're in the small town of Williamsburg. And I do mean small. We'll show you some video of it. But we're going to some place and getting what's called a Sammy.
Sammy. It's just a
Sammy.
Then what they call for a sandwich.
So, but it's a fairly cheap sandwich. So.
Yep.
And this is supposed to be a general store, so they're going to have all kinds of stuff in it, right?
Yeah. Old time country store.
So we're going to show you what it's like inside.
And get us a quick bite to eat for lunch. All right. See you in a minute.
Crane's Country Store starts back in 1889. In 1926, the Crane brothers built this location. Crane's Country Store slogan is they sell boots, bullets, britches, and bologna.
What do you think of this crazy store?
It's built like Hermione's purse. Just keeps going and going and going.
And the thing that you gotta remember is you gotta look up, because there's all kinds everywhere.
Little
There's little
knickknacks.
cubbies of knickknacks, pots, whole bunch of old toys, pedal tractors, pedal toys, children's section of even Carhartt stuff and coats. Yep, there's the large stuff for sale even. Best cookware in the world, right there.
There.
So I got,
Eat it in here?
of course. So I got the 2 sandwiches, the 2 drinks, the 2 chips, and then the Carhartt dog collar totals $31.89.
She got out of her choke chain.
See, Angel, what'd you get?
I got bologna with American cheese somewhere. There it is.
And mayo.
And mayo.
$2 sandwich. And I got smoked turkey and pepper jack cheese and mayo.
So
Both of them are $2. Pretty good price, isn't it?
Ooh, Lord.
Well, what'd you think of that?
I'm full. Good sandwich.
Good sandwich, and you can go. You almost get lost in there, can't you?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. It's made like Hermione's purse.
Yeah, there's stuff everywhere you think you go, and then there's another room just chock full of stuff, and you gotta look up because there's lots of things that the Crane family has collected over many years, because this is 4th generation owned and operated here in Williamsburg. It's a cool place. You have to come. It's just not only a mile, less than a mile off the interstate. So if you're going through here, you got to come in and stop and take a look. Really cool place.
Get you Sammy.
Yeah, get you Sammy. $2. Okay, we got back from our trip for a quick lunch in the country store. So now we got to do the next step of the gingerbread cake, and we're starting with, well, excuse me, we're doing the filling. Okay, so start with a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. We're going to add 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. Okay, then you add a 1/4 cup of sour cream. This can all be chilled, of course. You don't have to heat anything up. All chilled, right out of the cooler is fine. Or refrigerator if you're at home. And the last thing we add is a tablespoon of brandy. And that reminds me, Angel, we got to go back here in a second and do one more thing to the cake that we forgot to do while the cake was warm, but it won't hurt anything. Tablespoon of brandy. Any kind of brandy you've got will work fine. And now we mix it until it gets thick.
Stiff, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be stiff. Going. Okay.
Well, honey, I guess.
You can see, looks like it's thick, stiff.
Yep.
Now, it should be able to, we're gonna sit just a second, we're gonna get our cakes ready.
One thing about it being this cold is you don't have to worry about cold stuff getting hot,
Okay.
right?
That's right. Now, I peel our foil back that we baked it on. Now, we're gonna get a plate out. We're gonna put it on a plate. Hope this plate's big enough.
I think it is.
Let's see here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, now we'll carefully kind of make sure it's not stuck to anything. Doesn't look like it, does it?
Flip her over on there.
Flip it over. That'll work. Do it that way. Okay, that'll work. Make any difference which way you have it. It's upside down or not, does it? Okay. And we'll put a light layer of this. Now, the original recipe has you put this on your warm cake, and then you put a light layer of powdered sugar dusted on it. Then you put a hand towel, like a cloth, a dish towel, cloth dish towel, over top of that, and then you roll that all up with a towel in it, put it in the refrigerator and let it all get cold. Then, at this point, you would unroll it and take that hand towel off, and then you grab your filling on top of our cake. Yeah, it's going to be good. Now, we can't be too carried away when we put the top on it because it will second cake. We're going to put a little bit of our brandy on top of that. Now, I'm going to put that right on the top.
I put a little bit more of that brandy on the top part too.
Just a tiny bit. We got a little bit left in here. We'll put that on top. We're not done yet.
Nope, that's why it's a 3-hour cake.
This has to be chilled. So we're going to chill it. We're going to come back in a minute, regroup, and make the icing or frosting, whatever you want to call it. We'll be right back. Okay. The last thing is the icing. That is also a 2-step process. So in this little saucepan, I've got 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar and 1/2 of a cup of whipping cream. And we're going to turn the burner on. And it's as cream and sugar, so it can burn real fast. So I'm just going to watch it, medium heat. As soon as the sugar dissolves, we're going to take it off and let it cool. Once it's cool, we'll come back and take care of the last part of the icing or frosting, whatever you want to call it. Okay, honey, what do you think? Looks like the sugar is dissolved.
Yeah, it does.
I think so.
Yep.
Turn it off. We're going to set it over here off the where it's the warm burner, and set it over here where it's cool, and let it cool off. And then as soon as it's cool, probably going to take a good 15 minutes to 30 minutes. We'll come back and finish the frosting, and then we'll get this cake finished. We'll be back. Okay, last step is the frosting, and we already started the first part with the brown sugar. And this one, we are actually taking the other part of the frosting mix, and that is powdered sugar. It's gonna fly everywhere. Softened butter, ground ginger, and ground allspice. The same two spices that were actually in the cake. And we're going to get this mixed together. We left this inside a little bit, hopefully it'll stay warm enough. That butter is supposed to be soft, so it'll
And that
make creamy.
flaming orb in the sky is disappearing
Yeah,
fast.
it's going fast. Okay, I went and got my spatula, and I also got my, looks like crumble sauce. And we just did, basically it is that what we did on the stove just a little bit ago. And that was our brown sugar and our alright, now this goes in. You want this to be cooled according to the recipe. Nothing has to be totally chilled. Okay, so then we got that added. Now we're going to incorporate both of these together. And it should come together and be creamy. Hopefully we'll get it that way. Let's see what kind of luck we have. Be careful. May not work too bad. Gotta work your way around. Don't get too carried away because you don't want to push out your filling too much.
This is one of my all-time favorite cakes.
Now I don't want to put it all on at once because then we're gonna have to be too much in one place, and we'll kind of maybe push out our filling. So I'm gonna kind of put it in small little pieces. Okay, we have left the cake set up, frosting on it, rest a little bit.
It didn't take it too long
Didn't
because
take
it's
long
cold
out
out here.
So we're gonna cut it and find out what we got.
Oh,
Not bad.
Look at that. Party, party.
Not too bad, is it? Right.
Since it's Valentine's Day and you made this for me, I'm going to take the first bite.
It's getting colder. The wind went, sun's going down. I had to put my hood up. All yours, I'll get the rest.
Mine. Ooh, it's good. It's not overly sweet. I think it's a little better as a jelly roll. But this ain't bad. I think I'm getting a bite. What do you think? A little better as a jelly roll, isn't it?
I think the filling is really good though.
Uh-huh.
You gotta have both of them
Yes.
to go together. Because there's not much sweet at all to the filling. Just a little tiny bit. So,
Well,
I think this about does it for this
I think it does it for
part
this
one,
video.
doesn't it? Of our weekend getaway.
If you like this video, give us a thumbs up as I finish swallowing what's in my mouth. Share us on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. social media sites you have. Subscribe if you haven't. That really helps us out. Give us a comment of the craziest thing you've ever cooked out. This is pretty much the craziest thing we've ever cooked out.
And as you can see, you know why we call it the 3-hour cake.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of steps to it.
Yeah, and then part of it is you have to wait a while in between. That's why
Let
we
everything
went to town.
chill down and cool
So
down.
we hope you like that visit of town. If you're going by, you ought to stop by Crane's
Country Store in Williamsburg. It's right off the interstate.
Great sandwiches and cheap too. So we thank you for watching and see you next week.
Yep, thank you. Bye.
Next week we visit Graham Cave. We take a tour of an award-winning distillery, and I fix one of Wade's favorite dishes for Valentine's.